remember Aliens? It came out in 1986. James Cameron's sci-fi horror sequel to Alien. Well, the people at Kenner didn't remember it until 1992. And I don't think they remembered it right. This guy here is supposed to be Bishop, the Sulaco's android, and I don't quite remember him being bald, wearing sunglasses, or having cybernetic crap all over him with an enormous Gatling gun, although I think of those, the most useful would have been the enormous Gatling gun. My favorite part about this guy is that they actually tried to draw all the crap they added to him on the actor, which is just ridiculous. It's clearly just kind of badly airbrushed over the poor guy. It's like if they couldn't get his likeness, I don't know how they got away with this. But you can see he's MedLab Research Reserve Planet, and they left off enormous Gatling gun operator. He's the latest series of Hyperdyne android designed to study aliens. And his quote is, "Alien biosurvival rating 95.78. Incredible. So who knows what the context of that quote is, but apparently he says it enough that they had to put it on there. So this toy line was really just a bunch of really gimmicky aliens. Like I remember the Scorpion had a blow apart feature. You pushed a button on his back and he blew apart, and the Gorilla Alien had like a plunger head and you could fill him with water, and the Bull Alien had an extending neck. I don't remember what the Queen did, but other than the secondary mouth, but she's the best looking one, it looks like. All the figures are just absurd. Like Ripley, Hicks, Apone, Drake, Bishop, and then the extra ridiculous ATAX disguise, which I actually saw this in a vintage toy store near where I live, and it's just so ugly I just didn't even bother picking it up. I guess they were kind of banking on kids not having seen this movie 6 years after it came out, since Hicks is mortally wounded, Apone and Drake die, and Bishop gets ripped in half. Of the toys, like 2 of them are just straight up made up, but at least they have the power loader, even though they wimped out and put treads on it instead of having it have the power pants it's supposed to. He's got like a belt fed thing that fires, looks like 30mm bullets out of this Gatling gun, and you can pull his arms off to reveal his bionic insides. It's kind of morbid. And then he has an extra weapon that looks like kind of a cattle prod. Looks like he's got stickers so you can decorate the figure with weapons and labels just however you see fit, I suppose. He does come with a 16-page Dark Horse comic, which looks like it's rolled up on the side here, so we'll have to take a look at that. I'm sure there's a lot of effort that went into this. Oh, and the Gatling gun also has real action and sound, so I assume it's going to click. Oh, and actually on his card art you can see he's already lost an arm. So I guess he's just holding on very tightly as his milk guts spew out over here. He's keeping calm about the whole thing though. All right, so let's crack open Bishop here. Bishop is kind of your 90s typical Kenner figure with zero articulation. This is over a decade after Star Wars, and they're still making figures that arms are locked, legs are locked, and there's just the same amount of articulation really as the classic Star Wars line. So he comes with some kind of cattle prod. It's going to connect to his back hole here. Looks especially dopey. Here's his ammo belt, which it's not a whole lot of ammunition for a Gatling gun. It's going to give you like, what, a second of burst maybe? So it feeds in, and that's a pretty wimpy click for a gun that's supposed to advertise action sounds. And you actually can rotate it both ways, but you can see there it doesn't last very long. So you should have brought more ammo, Bishop. He's got kind of a death grip on this thing, and let's see if we can get him to let go and take a look at his other. Oh, well, that broke. course it did. So let's see if we can look at his other action feature where he can pull his arms off. I guess he can kind of reenact the end scene where the Queen rips him apart. Can you pull both of them off? It's going to look really goofy if you can't. Yeah. There he is. Bishop. Unstoppable. Oh, but he still got his peg, so, you know, his last resort weapon here, whereas he can kind of charge at people and hit them with a cattle prod. Yeah, this is a really, really crummy figure. So, let's see, can he even hold it again without breaking it? I guess the lesson is just never put your gun down in the Aliens universe. Yeah, you can still hold it. You can probably see here the stickers are so large, I don't know really if there's anywhere flat enough to affix them, except maybe his thigh pad here. You can put his name on there. There we go. That one seems appropriate. The last thing he comes with is this Dark Horse comic. This is number 1, actually. Bishop Desert Storm. That term got severely overused after 91. Oh, look at that. At least they went for the look they gave him with the toy. It's pretty hardcore. Very RoboCop-esque in this picture. So it starts off that Bishop has used his severely overkill Gatling gun to kill a, I guess that's supposed to be a face hugger, but it looks more like a scorpion. Oh, but an alien jumped out of nowhere. Bishop immediately gets trashed. System alert. Apone is powering up the Stinger, which I assume is that stupid little tank thing. Fire. Fapoom. Fram. Oh, but it turns out the whole place is just full of them. Apone's getting swarmed, but fortunately Bishop is hyper accurate with his 30mm cannon. He has to remind Bishop that they are full of acid, but don't worry, his Hyperdyne programming prevents me from harming you. Apone's shirt clearly states no bugs, so you can tell his opinions about aliens. But they're dragging him off anyway, despite the statements on his shirt. He orders Bishop to call in backup. They're stuffing Apone down a little anthill here. Bishop's making the most determined phone call of his life, where he's calling Hicks. Hicks rolls in another one of their tanks. Hicks is admiring Bishop's ability to take a pounding and keep on going. Certainly didn't happen in the movie. They both got that kind of 90s comic silhouette with the ridiculous calves and the huge quads and giant guns. Apone is unharmed. For now. It's all up to them. Lock and load. What's our course of action? Poor Sarge is cocooned by now. So they're still just kind of posing and racking their guns, but that's it. We won't know what happens to Apone unless we get the Scorpion alien action figure. Man, that's rough. Looks like Bishop's stuffing is coming out here, and they kind of forgot all his cybernetic crap on his head. They didn't forget his shades. But again, you can see the proliferation of pouches and doodads of the 90s comics. So that's Bishop, one of the great sci-fi characters of the great sci-fi franchises that Kenner managed to do their own thing and just kind of ruin completely. The whole Aliens line is pretty terrible. I remember being very excited when they came out because you could finally have aliens. Well, at least somebody's version of aliens. I do have Ripley to do later because I have a funny comparison to make with her from another terrible Kenner line from another terrible movie. So until then, thanks for watching.